So such variables, how to add them up or so-called order them up or add them up or union them up is symbolically written as A plus B. Some people use this symbol to write A union B, but it's a bit more cumbersome to write the symbol all the time. So let us write A plus B. And this is called A dot B as a symbol. And when you do the operation, you get another variable C, right? And the C also has to be in the same set. It can't be 2, it can't be 3, it can't be 4, it has to be either 0 or 1. This is called the closure property of the set. And any operation you take on any two members must also be a member of the set here. This is the property of the closure set. So it has to be back to the same set. So this also has to be either 0 or 1. And sometimes even dot is not put here, write AB. Okay? In understood it, there is a dot in between. Then there is one more operation here defined, not operation, which says this not is, if A is the variable, then the not operation is not of A is symbolically written as A bar, meaning thereby if A is equal to 1, A bar will be 0, and if A is equal to 0, A bar will be equal to 1. This is again a fundamental property of a set of a field where you have to define the so-called inverse. So, this is the definition of the such that A plus A bar is equal to 1. Right? There is 0, 1 or 0. So this is the not operation. So these are the three operations defined on the members of the set, and there must be rules of the game, that what is A plus B and what is A into B. That means if I do operation on two variables A and B, what is the resulting operation C? So there is a table for it which says that if A is 0 and 1 and B is 0 and 1, this A plus B means 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, and 1 plus 0 is equal to 1, and 1 plus 1 is also equal to 1. Okay? This is what this operation means. Similarly, for this, I am sure you know what this is. 0 into 0 is 0, 0 into 1 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, 1 into 1 is 1, right? And what are such tables called? Truth table, right? What did we do? We have taken two variables, and these two variables can take on any value. A can take on 0 or 1, B can take on 0 or 1, and if A takes 0 or 1 and similarly B takes 0 or 1, what is the C value going to be is represented by this table. Remember, what did we do in this table? We exhausted all possibilities of A, we exhausted all possibilities of B, and for every possible value of A and possible value of B, we defined what is A plus B or A into B. This is a truth table. And similarly for the Here the truth table is simple. If it is 0, it is 1. If it is 1, it is 0, right? A and A bar. Then of course, there are a lot of theories on this, that all these operations are not fundamental. Some of them are derivable operations and so on and so forth. That's not going to those proofs and all those things, but let us assume there are 3 operations, OR operation and operation. Now today I have electronics which will give me a circuit which will exactly do OR, which will do an AND, which will do a NOT. So the mathematics which remained dormant state for many years got translated into a real world hardware with the availability of electronics at a cheap price. It is not that we did not know that this can be done by using vacuum tubes. We have done it in good old days, people have done it using vacuum tubes, but the computer, I think only today's newspaper has some pictures of digital computers of yesteryears, and some of the computers built at that time occupied a football field, size of a football field. And so that is where the technology was at that time. And so people could not think about building computers using these vacuum tubes, but with the semiconductors coming in, then it became now supercomputers with all kinds of capabilities into it and so on. So that point I am making, that the moment there is a translation of this mathematics into a hardware and into a technology, then obviously that mathematics gets translated into usefulness, and that is what happened here. Today we are talking about it because we can do this hardware very cheaply and effectively. Historically, around 1960s, for example, when the transistors came, the number of chips, number of transistors you can have in a small chip like 741. You remember I gave you a number like some 20 transistors or 25 transistors in the chip, and in the same chip size, we are dumping in as many as 10,000 transistors today, or even more. As time passes, the number of transistors is going to be even more than 10,000. So this is how the technology is fast changing. As a result of that, we are going from small scale integration to medium scale integration to large scale integration to very large scale integration to ultra large scale to super large scale integration. So the generation to generation, the number of elements or gates or AND gates in a chip is going on increasing tremendously. Of course, we are also reaching a plateau, that we are coming to a point where possibly we cannot increase the density of this any further. Moore's law. So Moore's law says that every 2 years the density will double up. It has been happening all these years, but now people say that we are now coming to a roadblock, that we can't go beyond some values. So the present day electronics people are trying to build transistors from atom level. That means you start with putting atoms as you want, one by one, or molecules one by one, and build a transistor. Rather than taking the bulk material and building a transistor, you start from atoms and build the transistor. This is the technology we are moving into, but still at a lab level, people have built 1 or 2 transistors at Bell Labs and so on and so forth. But when it will become a commercial level, we do not know happen or not. But that's the thinking going on, bottom to top, top to bottom to bottom to top technology to make these densities larger and larger to go along with the Moore's law. But people suspect that Moore's law may be coming into a plateau. But the fact remains that I am able to increase this number of gates in an astronomical manner, and so as a result of that you are able to get computers into a pocket which nobody dreamt of. but you can do that about 10 years ago. And the cell phone you have has a very powerful computer inside, and then doing lots of operations. It has become possible because of this electronics developments in the device area. Anyway, so these are the three operations that a logic circuit does. Okay.